All right, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Rayak. We're called from the Cleveland Brass GMS. Coming back at you with another lesson through the power and spirit of the Most High and His Son, through this present evil world, ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. But in the ancient Paleo Hebrew, we would know the Father as Yahweh, and we would know the Son as Yahweh Shai. So before I get into this quick lesson, I give all praise, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the hopeful elect, the Akim that scattered abroad, the four corners of the earth, preaching this truth and all sincerity. And like the title say, everything and everyone will be ours, man. Because we are the children of light. We the sons of God, man. We are the sons of God. That title alone says a lot, man. We supposed to inherit the whole earth and everything in it, man. Like the scriptures say, the world was made for our sakes, man. So without further ado, let me get into these scriptures. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 16. The spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And when you go to John 6:63, it tells you that the word is spirit. So if your spirit bear witness with this word, it don't matter how you look. It ain't a black thing or a white thing. It's an Israelite thing. And Israelites come in all shapes, forms, and fashions, man. Let's just say if I move to China and I procreate with a Chinese woman, and my child comes out looking like Chinese. That child is an Israelite because I'm an Israelite. And let's just say if my son that I have by this Chinese woman have a child by another Chinese woman, that child would definitely look all the way Chinese. But that bloodline goes back to me. So it don't matter how you look. It's about if your spirit bear witness with the word, man. So it says, and if children, then heirs, heirs of God and joint heirs with Mashiach. An heir is one who receives something by blood or in by lot of inheritance, man. So it says, joint heirs with Mashiach. If so be that we suffer with him, that way that we may be also glorified together. Is the point I wanted. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time, because we suffer a lot, man, we go through a lot on our daily walks, man. Before the truth, in the truth, we've been catching hell, man. We've been catching hell ever since we set foot on the shores of America as a whole, as a nation. I'm not talking about your LeBron James and the P. Diddy's, and they still catching hell because they under the curses. There's no way to get around the curses, man. Everybody catching hell. Because the scriptures say when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And that's what you see, man. Everybody mourning, everything mourning, man. Everything's dying off. Come on, man. But it says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Because that glory, the glory that we go get in the kingdom, can't compare to nothing that we go through on earth. That's like saying, man, I was broke for 5 straight years without a dollar. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty messed up. But then your next 25 years, you got $20 million to spend every day. That little 5 years can't compare to that 25 years. The little time we've been in captivity and on the bottom can't compare to eternity, man. we gonna have eternity with our foot on these other nations' necks, man. On top, rulership. So it says, let me read it again. It says, this is Romans 8 and 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So the things that we go through now, being at the bottom, being subject to payments, having Esau all over us, having Ammon over us, having Ishmael over us, selling us chicken at the gas stations, man, I take it on the chin, man. I take being broke on the chin, man. You feel me? Take it all on the chin because it is can't compare to a lifetime of immortality, riches, women, beautiful children, not being able to die, streets paved with gold, being on top, man, being able to live finally, forever though. Oh, okay, kind of. I almost got brain freeze, but I got it. I got it. I know where I was going. I think that's Isaiah. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and I'm gonna start at verse 10. Because the other nations have to make it, not for salvation, but to do this. This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 10. And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls, because the kingdom got to get built up the same way we built up the nations' kingdoms. They go build up our kingdoms. How was America built? Off the backs of slaves. How would the kingdom be built? The same way. We're about to read it right now. Isaiah 60 and 10. And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings is they honorable man, they top chief people, you feel me? The ones that's highly esteemed now, the rulers, the King Jong-uns and the Vladimir Putins and the Donald Trumps of the world and the elites, the rich elites that you never hear about. They are the kings that's go build up our walls, man. It says, and their king shall minister unto thee. When you go into that word minister, it's serve. So they go serve us. And let me jump back to Isaiah 14, just to go in a little bit more on that. This is Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Jacob are you tribes who so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native and Seminole Indians that was brought here via slavery, man. That was put in shackles and shipped to different lands. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. Because we don't got our own land here. We scattered abroad the four corners of the earth and all these other different lands. And the strangers, they go that word stranger again, but it's different strangers because you got different types of strangers. You got foreigners that's not Israelites, and then you got Israelites that took on the customs and the ways and fell away from our customs and our ways. Shall be joined with them. He's just talking about our people. And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them. When you possess something, it's yours. You do what you want with it. In the land of the Lord, Israel, for servants and handmaids, they're going to be slaves. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors. Now we go rule over all these nations that had us in captivity, had us in slavery, kicked us while we was down. So back to Isaiah 60. It says, Isaiah 60 and 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath, minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I mercy on thee. Yeah, because that's like a person. When you mad at somebody, you're not mad at them forever unless they do some straight bullshit. But let's just say your brother steal $20 from you. Yeah, you gonna be mad as hell at him. You gonna be angry with him. You might even fight him. You might punch him. That was in your wrath. But then that anger slowly goes away. And then you find favor with your brother again. Because that's your brother. We the most high's children. So of course he's not gonna be mad with us forever. So he go find favor with us. So it says, but in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I mercy on thee. Therefore, thy gate shall be open continually. Our gates in the kingdom of heaven is 12 gates for the 12 tribes of Israel. It says they're going to be open continually. Now, let's see why. Is it going to be to throw footballs, to play basketball? No. It says, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring the forces of the Gentiles, talking about their riches, man, they're going to bring us their riches, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that would not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Utterly wasted, man. But the point I wanted was they're going to bring us the forces of the Gentiles, man. Our gates ain't going to be shut because they go bring us precious ointments, they children, the first of all they fruits, first of everything, man. They go build up the kingdom, man. Let me see. Let me see something real quick. Okay, yeah. Isaiah 61 and 61 and 5. 61 and 4. 61 and 3. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Lift up thy eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, because of the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. The forces, man, the riches of the Gentiles, man. We go take what we want, man. We go have our way with them, man. Simple as that, man. Or the book of Revelations. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 22. No, chapter 2, and verse 25. But that which he hath already hold fast till I come. That's talking about this truth, this wisdom, this knowledge, and this understanding. Some men have more than others because it's a measure of faith that the Most High gives to every man. And he that overcometh, overcome what? Overcome Satan's trouble, overcome sin, overcome the world, and keepeth my works until the end, because the scriptures say, he that endureth to the end, the same shall be saved. Shalom, shalom. To him will I give power over the nations. So to the Israelites, the elect that overcome will have power over the nations, man. Simple as that, man. Power over the nations. Ain't no equality in the kingdom. When you got power over something, means you're the ruler and they're under you. They're subject unto you and to your ways. It says, power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken in shivers, even if I have received of my Father. So the Most High go give us an iron rod for correction to these nations, man. And it says, even as I have received of my Father, because when you go to the book of Psalms, chapter 2, the Most High gave his son what? Power over the nations. And we read that we was joint heirs with Yahushua. So we're going to have power over the nations too. This is Psalm chapter 2, verse 8. It says, ask them in verse 6. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, ask of who? The Most High Yahweh. And I shall give thee the heathen, the other nations, for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So the same way the Most High gave his son the heathen for inheritance, we see the same thing. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them to pieces as a potter's vessel. So the same way Yahushua get that rod of iron, we go get that rod of iron too. Let me get a little bit more Psalms. I think that's 149, if I'm not mistaken. I'm quite sure it is. Okay, this is, dang, my Psalms is chewed up. Let me get out my phone. Bear with me real quick. The book of Psalms, chapter 149. I'm going to start at 5. Let the saints be joyful and glory. The saints. Let's just go back to chapter 148 and 14 to see who is the saints. 148 and 14 Psalms. He also exhorted the horn of his people. His people is the Israelites. The praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. So the saints are the Israelites. Psalms 149 and 5. Let the saints, the Israelites, be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand. What are we going to do with that two-edged sword? Let's keep reading. To execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people. To bind their kings with chains. To do what? To bind their kings with chains. When someone's in chains, that's servitude. That's slavery. When they put us in slavery, wasn't we in chains? They binded us with chains and yokes of iron and beat us with two-edged swords, beat us down. So they go receive the same judgment. What's that? Let me see. It's a lot here. It's a lot here. It's a lot here. Colossians chapter 3, verse 25. But he that doeth wrong shall receive of the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons. So when you do wrong, you got to get that treatment. And the Most High don't care who you are. They don't care how rich you are, how many good deeds you done did, how many times you knocked and cooked for your neighbor, all that don't matter, man. Okay, it says to execute vengeance upon the people, to execute vengeance upon the heathen, and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. Look up fetters of iron, man, and see what we're gonna put around the people's necks. To execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord. So we're gonna have all the riches. Our gates ain't gonna never be closed, so they could bring riches day and night all the time, man. Pass homage to God's chosen people. And then let me see, hold on, real quick, just to get a little bit more. Jeremiah 30, 30 and 16. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee, devour who? We, the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and some Indians, shall be devoured. And all thy adversary is an enemy, a person that's against you. Every one of them, it say every one of them, every last single one of them, from the tallest to the greatest, from the oldest to the youngest, from the females to the males, to everybody. Every one of them shall go into captivity. Captivity is slavery, bondage, double straits, hardships, being beat, being whooped, being spit on. And they shall spoil thee, and all they that spoil thee shall be a spoil. A spoil is a robbery. When you take something from someone, that's a spoil. And all they that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. So all the things, man, payback is coming back in a measured way, man. Simple as that. I'm gonna keep reading though. It says, for I will restore health unto thee. Because we sick, man. We're a sick nation, man. And I will heal thee of thy wounds. Because we wounded up. We've been beat down and shackled up and destroyed as a people. Saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Thus said the Lord, behold, I will bring again the captivity of Jacob's tents, and have mercy on his dwelling places. And the city shall be builded upon her own heap, and the place shall remain after the manner thereof. And out of them shall proceed thanksgiving, and the voice of them that make merry, and I will multiply them, and they shall not be few. I will also glorify them, and they shall not be small. So it's going to be the whole nation, man, all the tribes, all our children, everybody, thousands upon thousands of children. Their children also shall be as aforetime, and their congregation shall be established before me, and I will punish all that oppress them. He go punish all that oppress us, man. That's all these other nations. Like I said earlier, it's a gas station. I could look out the window and see the gas station. Guess who owned the gas station? Ishmael. Guess what Ishmael sells in the gas station? Fried chicken. What do Ishmael know about cooking fried chicken? Nothing. They just here to oppress our people. You got corner store a little bit further down. Guess who in there? Moab. Moab selling our women that hair. It's just out of control, man. But it's all good because, like I say, man, I take it on the chin the same way every hopeful elect member should be. You should be pissed off, but at the end of the day, like Micah 7 and 9 say, we got to bear the indignation of the Lord because we sin against him. It's not the Most High's fault. It's not even the other nation's fault that we on the bottom. It's our own fault. So in due time, man, in due time, when we get our hands on y'all, ain't nothing nobody gonna be able to do to stop us. We go rule y'all with a rod of iron, man, to execute vengeance upon y'all, man. Ooh. So really, that was about all I have for now. Lord willing, I got a brother on the way in a couple of hours, and we get back at y'all. So with that, I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, and Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahab, double honors once again to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, starting with Apostle Tahar, the real truths of Israel. And peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect, Shalom, and Abba.